Hello, this is Mr. Stickermania from Louisville, Kentucky, to tell you the story, the backstory of the Beatles coming to Cleveland in 1966. The date was August 14th, 1966. And I got all this from girl had all this in the middle of a scrapbook. She had this envelope that was sealed up over time because it was in the scrapbook for 50 years. And this ticket stub, 4-inch by 1.5-inch ticket stub, was inside this envelope. But she went on an excursion to Cleveland. This was the original ad, and she paid $12.50 to go from Erie, Pennsylvania to Cleveland to see the Beatles in concert. And they gave her the most expensive ticket that there was at that time. It was $5.50. But the ticket's in beautiful shape. It's been preserved for over 55 years. This is the envelope. This was inside this envelope. That's what was mailed to her. The tour. What a tour. See the Beatles. And this is the articles that are related to the concert that came out of the scrapbook. This is a picture saying the Beatles are coming in the next week to Cleveland. Tickets weren't sold out yet because they were still selling them with a week to go. I think there was in the Cleveland Stadium, there was 30,000 people, but it wasn't sold out. But the Beatles performed 3 or 4 songs, and all of a sudden when George did the first part of If I Needed Someone, 6,000 fans went outside of the grandstand and onto the baseball field where the stage was on second base and caused a riot. And the police had to be elbow to elbow to protect the Beatles. George did finish If I Needed Someone, the song, and then they retreated to their special made 40-foot mobile home that was behind the stage, and they were there for a half hour while the police pleaded with the audience that they had to return to the seats or the show will not go on. So 30 minutes later, everybody was in their seats and the Beatles finished the show. But in 1964, they also had a problem when they played the Municipal. No, it was a public auditorium downtown in Cleveland, and they had to stop the show then. And their tour manager, Derek Taylor, had to beg everybody to return to their seats. So Cleveland, the crowds went crazy when the Beatles came to Cleveland, both times. Also on my Stickermania 2853 store, my new arrivals are, I have this 60mm film from 1974 called Braverman's Condensed Cream of Beatles. It was 17 minutes long, and it was the first time in the 70s that we saw the original Beatles clips of them on Ed Sullivan and Shea Stadium and some of their promo films. But this must come out of a high school library, and they would show this to high school classes. But that's in beautiful shape with the green lead on there and everything. Looks like it's hardly ever been played. I've never seen one in the original can like that. Got a original flyer from 1964 that promotes the Beatles are coming to see them on a closed circuit of their first American concert. That the closed circuit show was March 14th, 1964. And if you brought that flyer to the show and your number was pulled, which this one's 090, you won a Beatles album. And these are 2 original ticket stubs for California to see this show. This one's in beautiful shape. Couple of new albums I got to sell, original and first press this was from 1967. Sgt. Pepper first press stereo. It still cracks when you open it up. It's got the flip back on the top. laminated cover. Beautiful. And the record's Hardly Ever Been Played, -1, McCartney's bass playing really shines on this pressing. Once you hear this first pressing of Sgt. Pepper of the United Kingdom, the United States pressings are pretty well obsolete. One other album I just got in, original 1970, the United Kingdom pressing of John Lennon's Plastic Ono Band. It also has a laminated cover, which they didn't do in the United States. It's really sharp. This is got 2U in the dead wax. And it's Hardly Ever Been Played near mint also. That's the original inner sleeve that came with it. That was John Lennon's Primal Scream album that he recorded right after the Beatles broke up in 1970. That's my new arrivals for now on my Stickermania 2853 store. Thanks a lot.